We are very happy to have former AFL umpire Dean Margetts join us in studio. Dino, welcome.
Welcome back. It's great to be here.
Just going to move that mic a little bit closer, but that's good.
Yeah,
great, perfect.
Now, this is the couch to be on. Forget all the other shows on TV. This is the couch you want to be on, and now I'm on it. I'm bloody happy to be here.
Now, the cherry rops go down from the other week.
They're still going down.
Oh,
I just noticed there wasn't a box on the table tonight, so I'm not sure what's
happened.
happened.
You just said you not got through them. Once you through, don't worry. It's never
I can see a
supply.
BackChat shirt that I need to be part of the family. So I've got my hat.
Yep,
next
got your
time
hat
I'll
and
be
a
in
shirt. Yep, fair enough.
Nick will sort you out maybe when we leave, or Jules can as well. What have you brought in with you today, Dino? Because we've had a bit of a chat about, there's 3 big umpiring decisions this week that everyone's talking about. But you just told me off air that you don't think the Elliot Yeo one in particular was amongst the 10 worst decisions made on the day.
Well, I reckon for that to be the whole back page of the West Australian from when I wake up.
I wouldn't judge too much on what's on the back page.
I'm just saying, I'm just making a point. When I wake up with my cornflakes, I'm reading this decision, which is actually the right decision, can I say? Now, can I show Exhibit A?
Yes.
Laws of Australian football.
Now,
down here.
there we go.
2024.
Right
when was
there.
this recently updated?
2024.
Yeah. Okay.
I've got a premiership player to my left.
Was it up? Hang on, was it updated 2 weeks ago when they changed the interpretation?
It hasn't been updated. The tweak has happened.
Okay.
I've got a premiership player to my far left.
Yes.
I've got a Sandover medalist and a current contemporary to my closest left.
Yep.
And I can ask you guys, how many times have you read this book?
0 times.
0 times.
Now, that's staggering, isn't it? That's your workplace policy and procedures document. And I can tell you there's $1 million players in the AFL who wouldn't have even opened that book. Should they?
But, Dino, if I asked old mate down at the accounting firm, right, and they gave him the binder full of rules and regulations at his office, I don't reckon he's read that either.
I reckon he's got it close by, though.
Yeah.
There wouldn't be one in Hamish's kid bag.
We did used to get one.
I know you did. I used
Did
to
you
come down and
give
give
it to us?
and it ended up in the middle. I guess my point is,
I used to be like,
a lot of people have views and thoughts on decisions, but they really don't know the rationale, the fundamentals that sit behind the decisions.
How many pages in that?
I don't know, but I've just opened up to the holding the ball page.
Go to page 52, 18.5.
I'm there. I'm there.
And you'll go to the dive on drag in decision.
Okay,
can you read it out for us, please, Hamish?
I can. 18.6 holding the ball. Where am I?
Just read that one.
18.6.5. Free kicks, holding the ball, diving on top of the football. A field umpire shall award a free kick against a player who dives on top of or drags the football underneath their body and fails to immediately not clear or correctly dispose of the football when legally tackled. Hold the ball.
Now, Will, based on that, would you think the Elliot Yeo free kick is warranted?
Well, I called this, Dean, with Fox Footy, and I immediately said that's holding the ball.
Correct.
Not many people agree with me, but could I say that that's not necessarily the argument or conversation that's happening? Because we've just had one before you got here, Dino, about the rules of the game.
Yep.
So as an umpire, you're not carrying that around
as
you're running around. And if you paid every free kick that sits in that book, 500, there'd be 500. Your whistle wouldn't come out of your mouth.
Don't argue that one bit. I totally agree with you.
So even though by the letter of the law that was a free kick, there are free kicks that are letter of the law free kicks that aren't paid. So should that have been paid or not? Because there's more in it than whether it was in the law book or not.
Correct. There's actually an AFL handbook which we need to actually interpret that, because that's not a sexy read by any stretch. I mean, after 2 pages, Holmes will be going crikey.
Yeah.
And that's a hard read. So we're talking about at the AFL level, it's hard to read. What would a young junior umpire be having to read with that? So it's a difficult document to be part of.
I think this one, 18.6.1.
You just have a browse.
Now, the first rule of the holding the ball, the spirit and intention. I think this one needs to, I think it needs to be coming back to a bit more of overriding this. The player who has possession of the football will be provided an opportunity to dispose of the football before being rewarded an opponent for a legal tackle. And I just think the diving on top of the free kick, or in some instances like the Yowie one, the picking up of the ball after an immediate tackle, I think there needs to be a bit more of a lenience or some sort of consideration to the spirit of the game for a prior opportunity. Like that, if the Sam Draper one where he reached out, grabbed it and dragged it in, that's prior, and that's holding the ball. But I don't think, even though he's dragged it in, or technically he's dragged it in, I don't think he has had prior opportunity, and I don't think that constitutes prior opportunity.
What I will say there is the Eagles have just hit the front. There's 2 minutes 20 on the clock. What's Adam Simpson coaching Yeo? We want stoppage. We want slow ball. That rule's designed. We want you to post the ball out. We want it in motion. No coach wants that when you just hit the front by 2 points. We know that, and that's why that rule's introduced. And when you know that, you can't argue with that decision being paid. That's what the AFL want. They want speed on the ball. They want ball movement. 6-6-6, stand. They want it to be going, and hence the dive-on rule, which was brought in probably 6-7 years ago, is for that reason.
So what about those what about those free kicks that, and you speak about this a bit, we've had you on here quite a bit, and I've heard you speak about it before as well, where there is feel from the umpire. Like if the umpire feels, well, he didn't really have prior, he wasn't really trying to drag it in, he was trying to get to his feet. I mean, how do you do that? Like I feel like the best umpires do that.
Yep. But that one there, though, if Yeo actually dives on it and gets to his feet, it's still holding the ball. So that's not an out because you stand up. And now you would know that even as a media commentator. So I'd love to be sometimes sitting next to you in the box and just explain the rationale as to why. You go, now that you've said that, that's the reason why. But as I've always said, sometimes the best decisions we pay are the ones we don't pay, the ones we just manage. Now, I'll go back to that Hawthorn Giants game. There's 3 free kicks leading up to that after disposal, which, in my view, were clear errors. Ginnivan goes looking for a high tackle, gets one. Guy gets whacked across the chest, throws his hair back, high tackle, and there's a hole in the ball before that. Yep. But we don't remember, though. If you only remember the one that has the impact. Luke Bruce, should he have taken the kick? Was either close with the ball crossed the line?
That happens all the time. But that and smart forwards.
I know, but I'm saying as an umpire, that attention to detail can have impact on games. We've got a sneaky forward who gets his 10-metre protected arc to come out and snap. That's a left foot kicker down there. That probably misses, and game's a result. The McAndrew and the King one, that decision, which is as poor as it was, that ultimately has an impact on that game. And we've seen that probably most this year, where I've seen decisions which have had significant impact on game's outcome. And that's not what the umpiring group would like, I don't think.
I don't think the umpiring group would like that. I don't think the playing group would like that. But I think the AFL fucking love it.
What? Love what?
Love the whole inconsistency of the umpiring calls. I think they love and they thrive on the fact that players don't really know what's going on. The umpires have got to change every week because they fucking love the controversy. Like the amount of people talking about all this stuff. I think the AFL love it, and that's the whole reason.
Look at this.
Exactly.
Well, I know a bloke who can write letters to the AFL.
Exactly.
So this could be the next one, couldn't it?
They're not doing it on purpose, but I think they just secretly sit back and fucking count their dollars and think, how good's this?
Yeah, a weekly open letter from Hamish.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the McAndrew one is close to my heart because I was a scragging defender. I mean, the AFL has come out and said that that's the wrong decision, and I think everyone can see that's sort of the wrong decision. How would the umpire feel? AFL's come out and said that's the wrong decision. That has impacted the game. Like, how would the umpire feel?
He would know an hour after the match. He would know blowing it. We look at the replay going, oh, gee, you know. When you blow the free kick, you have a gut feel of what it feels like. And he would have known an hour after that wasn't the right free kick.
It'd be like missing a goal as a player.
No different. Yeah. And I like the fact the AFL come out, diffuse it, take the heat out of it and say, we got it wrong, because you go, okay, well, let's have admitted it. And you know what? It dies off pretty quickly. It's when we don't come out and say that, we're talking about it on Wednesday and Thursday and we lose traction of the following week because of a decision. So I like the fact that they've done that. We should give them a tick for that.
You still fucking lost the game, though. It cost them a game.
Hammer made the point before, Dino, that it feels like this year there's been more decisions like at the end of games and close games that have... Is that true, do you think?
I've noticed it. I've been in the system for a long time, and I feel like this year, whether it's the Darcy one, whether it's the Draper one, whether it's the McLean in the Dogs game, there just seems to be big moments in matches where it has, and it's not probably what we want, but that's the nature of the game. The game's as scrutinised as it's ever been ever right now.
Did you, when you were umpiring, Dino, and I mean, I'm not sure if you're allowed to say it, did you not put the whistle away, but did you umpire the last 2 minutes of a game in a tight, close game differently than you would the first 5 minutes of each quarter?
You'd like to think not. I think the two biggest words, which begin with C, and it's not the C that I got called for 20 years. We'll park that. I do an exercise with umpires where mention all the C words that are good in umpiring: commitment, conditioning, consistency, communication. But the two major ones: composure.
Yep.
And courage.
Yep.
It takes courage to pay that decision that Jeff Dalglish played against Yeo. It takes, you've got to have some stone to do it. But you know what? The game demands an umpire to pay the free kick, irrespective of time on clock or score on the scoreboard. That's what we're going to pay. Warranted free kicks, major and obvious. The ones where in the back row, that's a free kick. The other ones we want paid. 50-50, no way. But major, obvious, you got to still pay a free kick, 100%.
But I think
courage and composure.
Yeah, I think the courage and composure is good, and those big free kicks in big moments are good, but I think that what I've seen this year is those 50-50 ones have been paid a bit more in those dying stages than I've seen before.
I think that's a fair call.
I know as a player, especially in a close game, you can feel that yourself change in the last couple of minutes, and I feel like at the moment, I'd love to know that umpires are saying the same thing. Like, I'm umpiring this last 5 minutes a bit differently because it's tight, and let the players decide the outcome, unless it's an obvious.
It's never discussed. Hey guys, we're going to tweak it back for the next 5. You just umpire. It just happens.